Former President Obasanjo spoke yesterday, and he said, I quote, "You have written a book. It's Babagida's story. The book will be read, quoted, and criticized. Some will agree with you in part, others will disagree, and some may even reject it entirely." You know, and like Professor Adini was trying to say, this is his own story. Do you think that with this revelation and this book coming out now, it's going to create more controversies? Do you see it bringing about, you know, if you like, more devastating consequences, you know, for this country in whatever way, politically especially?
No, let me borrow the idea of Prof, my very good friend, Adeni, that when people write biographies, autobiographies, it is their own perspectives, the side that they want the public to know. And so Obasanjo's comment is naturally the normative order when autobiographies are written, because they are seen from the perspective of the writer, who is cataloging and detailing his own experiences, what he went through and all of that in the course of his life, so to speak. And what Obasanjo, former President Obasanjo said, captures the nature of life. You have the good, the bad, and the ugly. You have those people who are naturally well informed. You have the bystanders. You have the onlookers. And so in trying to dissect, you know, the rubrics of what make up that book, people will form their opinion of what the impressions he has conveyed, what it means to them. And so we are not expecting everything to be swallowed hook, line, and sinker. We are expecting that the discerning mind should have opportunity to make an informed position. If they were left in the dark ab initio, they are hearing from the man that was part and parcel of that process, just like hearing from the horse's mouth. So the angle of the Abacha that he talked about and you raised, I think it's courageous for him to even say that, because I had known from time, you know, in my interactions with him, that the blame, most of it, you know, rests on the shoulders of Abacha. And why do I say this? If you read Professor Humphrey Woods' account, you will see that the last meeting they had before the election day itself, Abacha was, you know, raining abuses on him and all of that, shouting at him and saying, you are telling us you are prepared, where we have security report that the country will burn if there was an election. And IBB now beckon on him and say, "Prof, are you ready for June 12th election?" He said, yes. He said, go ahead. The June 12th annulment is an interplay of forces, or was an interplay of forces, a coup within a coup that was predominantly anchored and, you know, hatcheted by those who didn't want it to happen. That Babangida was going to hand over power to his very good friend, M.K. Abiola. And so in the algorithms of power, you need to balance the nuances. And people just see these things, the thing rests on his table. I asked IBB several, I say, when this decision was taken, why didn't you reverse it and say this thing? You are not the commander-in-chief. He just laughed. He said, you civilians always make the mistake of thinking that we military men, we don't go to school, or we didn't go to school, or we don't understand power. But we understand it better than you. The man who is the commander-in-chief is the one who carries gun. I don't carry gun as commander-in-chief. I'm a general, but I don't carry guns.
The chief of army staff.
So when you are coming down from your house, he said, when you are coming down from your house, your bodyguards are the commander-in-chief. If they pull a trigger, you are gone. And the man will submit himself, handcuff me. I don't just like the face of the president. He said it happens everywhere. I should go and read biographies.
Yitzhak Rabin.
Of course.
Right.
He said it happens. So he said, what will you do in that manner? Are you going to say that you are the commander-in-chief and all that? He said, so you need to be looking at, even your bodyguards, there is always somebody who is called a low ranger, who does not like anything you do, but he's doing the job. But how do you discover the low ranger in your security bodyguard formation? So I have learned quite a lot of things from him, interacting with him and trying to understand power and the rendition of it. And so it was in Castina actually when that test statement of annulment of June 12 was issued, unsigned. And that was it. And for him, coming back, he already left Castina. I think it was the commissioning of the Castina airport. He already left, came back to Abuja, and summoned a meeting. By the time he saw the faces of all his colleagues, contemporaries, and all that, he knew that something was in the offing. And so he had to be careful for him to stay alive to even write these stories.